Hi folks, it's Jim with Quick Kinesiology, and we're going to be taking difficult scientific matters about kinesiology, which is the study of biomechanics, human movement, and anatomy, and we're going to put it in everyday language. Today we are working with a new learner who wants to learn how to serve the tennis ball. We're going to take a complicated set of motor skills, which is a bunch of different muscles moving, a bunch of different joints moving, and we're going to break it down into very easy pieces for the new learner to understand. We're going to use a theory that was developed almost 50 years ago, a little more than 50 years ago, by a gentleman by the last name of Bernstein. It's called freezing degrees of freedom. What freezing degrees of freedom is it takes a bunch of different parts of your body and it freezes a lot of it so that the learner can focus on one joint or a couple of joints and understand those movements. So you take something complicated, almost like teaching somebody how to read, you take something complicated and you break it down. It's like taking it and breaking down easy words, like see, spot, run. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the tennis serve and we're going to break it down into 4 pieces. We're going to do the stance, we're going to do the toss, we're going to do the backswing, and then we're going to do the follow through and hit the ball. But we're going to freeze most of the joints so that our new learner can focus on the joint that's moving and get some muscle memory with what's happening. So that's, again, called Bernstein's freezing degrees of freedom. After we do those 4 drills, we're going to do 3 drills using feedback, specifically internal and external feedback. Feedback goes back, the benefits of feedback scientifically go back over 100 years to a study in 1914 that found that external feedback in particular with a new learner is incredibly powerful, and it's how we learn our motor skills. So we'll do those 3 drills after we do the freezing degrees of freedom drills. So I'm going to step back, I'm going to introduce you to our new learner, and we're going to start our drills. All right folks, let's go ahead and start with drill number 1. Drill number 1 is the stance drill, and we're going to be focused on foot placement. Again, we're using Bernstein's freezing degrees of freedom, and we're going to freeze her knees and her ankles, and we're going to be focused almost exclusively on her feet. So let me introduce you to our new learner, our cognitive stage learner, Anna. So Anna, come on over. And she's going to be working from what I call the left side of the court. I'll be turning around here. The left side, and she'll be serving to what we call the right service area. So then let me show you how I'd like you to stand. So when you come up and you address the baseline, the best way for your left foot, which is your leading foot, is roughly a 45-degree angle. You point it at the net base that you're serving towards. The other foot is parallel to the baseline. So come on up, try that out for a minute. Tell me how that feels for you.
It's comfortable.
Does it comfortable? Does it feel natural?
It does.
Do you have a little more weight on your front foot, your left foot? Should be slightly more weight on your front foot.
Okay.
Okay. Feels good?
It does.
Okay, let's do that 5 times.
Okay.
So step back and readdress it. And the reason, folks, we're doing it 5 times is we want Anna to remember. She's going to come up and she's going to think about it. She's going to stand there for 2 or 3 seconds. She's going to focus on where her feet are, how it feels, and she's going to create muscle memory. That's really what motor learning is, muscle memory. Excellent. How's it feel?
Feels good.
Okay. That's 3 times. Let's do it 2 more times. And when you do this one, let's stop for a second. So folks, let me show you. In a normal serve, she would be bending, she'd be going up, her ankles and her knees would be moving. But what she's doing right now is she's freezing her knees and her ankles. And she's focused solely on her foot placement. She's creating a generalized motor pattern of how it feels to address the baseline, especially with her feet. So go ahead, step back, and let's do one final time. Excellent. Okay, let's do drill number 2. This is going to be the ball toss drill. And Anna's going to freeze her whole body, but really what we're focused on freezing right now is her elbow and her wrist. She's going to hold her throwing arm, which in her case is her left arm because she's right-handed, and she's going to do the movement with her shoulders. So that the only thing that's moving is her shoulders, and she's going to do just a light toss. So Anna, come on over with your ball. If you could face the camera. And go ahead, keep the racket down at your side. Raise your left arm. And without moving your elbows or your wrist, just do a gentle toss. And it's fine if you don't catch the ball. There you go. And just gently try to do it just with your shoulder. Excellent. What she's doing, as you can see, is she's really just isolating the shoulder movement. Later, when she does the actual toss, she'll unfreeze her elbow and her wrist and her fingers, and she'll be throwing the ball up. So this is creating a muscle memory for the shoulder to know what to do, because that's really where she's going to get her power. Okay, let's go ahead with drill number 3. Drill number 3 is the backswing drill. And in the backswing drill, we're going to have Anna unfreeze her elbow and her wrist from the previous toss drill, and have her unfreeze her knees and her ankles from the previous stance drill. And she's going to do an actual toss movement without a ball, and she's going to take the racket in her right hand and come back all the way to the bag, and then she's going to stop. She's going to freeze that motion, and she'll be in what's known as the trophy position, which is the proper position for a tennis serve. So let's go ahead and have Anna approach the baseline. And if you could mimic the serve that we talked about earlier, so throw the ball up and then freeze. Perfect. Okay, so folks, take a look here. This is her left shoulder is higher than her right shoulder. She's moved her feet and her knees, and the racket is back all of the way, and she's in what's known as the trophy position. And does this feel comfortable? Does it feel natural?
It does.
Okay, great. Go ahead and unfreeze. Step back. Let's do that. For the final freezing degrees of freedom drill, we're going to do the swing through to contact and follow through. We're going to do something a little different though. So we're going to unfreeze everything in the upper body, including full arm motion, full backswing, but we're going to freeze the lower body. So Anna's just going to focus on what's happening in her upper body. One way of doing this is what we call the kneeling serve drill. So Anna, if you could come on over, let's kneel right here. And let's put all the various pieces together, and let's go ahead and serve the ball. It's not important whether it goes over the net or not. It's really just a matter of putting together the arm motion, the shoulder motion, and then the backswing. So Anna's going to go ahead and serve the ball. Do another one. It's more about the movement rather than what you hit the ball. Excellent, excellent. Okay, we're now going to transition our motor learning to internal and external feedback. And we're going to start with external feedback. So the concept of external feedback being beneficial to motor learning goes back over 100 years ago to 1914, and a gentleman by the name of Edward Thorndike, who was a professor at Columbia in the Department of Educational Psychology. And there's been numerous studies since 1914 backing up the benefits and the strength of external feedback for motor learning. So what we're going to do today in this first drill is we're going to, let me turn around here for you. We're over in the service court, and we've got 6 different cones set up. So we're going to go over, and we're going to go back to our learner, Anna, and she's going to be serving from the baseline using all the skills that she used from our previous freezing degrees of freedom training. And she is going to focus on hitting those 6 cones. This part of external feedback is known as knowledge of results. And the name says exactly what it is. She will find out, she'll get feedback on whether her serve, form, and aim is successful in placing the ball. So she'll see the result, and I'll help her out with that as well. So let me go ahead, show you. There's Anna. And I'm going to take a quick break here, and we're going to turn the camera around. Okay, so we're back here on the baseline. Anna's going to be serving from the right side to the left side, and as you hopefully can see from here, there are 6 cones in the service area. There are 2 on the double service alley, there's 2 in the middle, and there's 2 on the center line. So Anna's going to try to hit the cones on the left side of the service area, which is known as the doubles alley. So we're going to get over here a little closer, and we're going to see how things go. So, Anna, go ahead when you're ready. Okay, so the other drill that we're going to do is called knowledge of performance. And what that means is feedback related to the actual performance. So a lot of that was included in the knowledge of results, where I gave her positive feedback. That looked great, it was within a foot of the cone, or nice serve, but you are far to the right, far to the left. So what that does is that backs up her knowledge of knowing how things worked out by getting feedback on her performance. Okay, we are now ready to do our final drill, which is going to be on internal feedback. As I mentioned earlier, it's proprioception. What proprioception is, it's your sense of your body's place in space, where your limbs are, where your body is. Some people call it a sixth sense, knowing where you're at, but it's really your brain working with your muscles and understanding where you are. So the drill that we're going to do now is no racket. Anna's going to take the ball and hold it in her racket hand, and she's going to act like she's doing a service, and she's going to throw the ball up against a wall, and she's going to mimic the service motion, and she's going to think about what's happening, and she's going to go all the way back to the trophy position, and then she's going to accelerate through the throw as she would in a serve. So let's go ahead. All right, there we go. So here's Anna, here's the wall. You're going to go ahead, wind up like you're doing a serve, and then go ahead and throw the ball. Excellent. Why don't you step back a few feet and serve, throw the ball as you would like you were serving in a tennis game. Excellent.